Buenos días, estudiantes. Me llamo Omar Valdés Rocha y soy profesor de español en el Centro College. Mucho gusto. Welcome to Spanish 2311 Online. I'm making this video as a sort of introduction in order to go over the syllabus and requirements for the course. I ask that you watch this video in its entirety because I believe that it is a very important material for you to understand what it is to be expected of you in the coming month. As you know, during the summer, these courses are intensive, so this course requires a bit more discipline and commitment than a regular semester course. Again, this is Intermediate Spanish 1, and we will be covering the same material as those students taking the same course during a regular semester. So a level of commitment is crucial for the success of this course. I am going to spend a couple of minutes going over the syllabus and explaining certain aspects of the course. And if you have any questions at the end of this video, please make sure to send me an email. Email is my preferred method of contact, and I usually respond within 24 hours. If I have not responded within 24 hours, please send me an email back reminding me of your issue. But that shouldn't be a problem. If you go to eCampus, I have already updated our class shell. As you can see, there are more tabs in here than there used to be a week ago. I'm going to go over the syllabus. I'm going to go over the day-to-day calendar today, and hopefully I will touch briefly on some of this stuff that's below. But I don't want to overwhelm you too much. So for now, let me just say that this is the third semester of Academic Transfer Spanish, and this course is designed to get you even further, to get you ready for Intermediate Spanish 2. For this semester, we are using the textbook Plazas, a 4th edition. And I'm gonna explain how to get the textbook in a little bit and how to do your homework through your textbook as well. But before I do that, let me just go over the grade calculation. Okay, so usually for grade calculations you see percentage points, right? Workbook, oral exercises, speaking tests, they'll have like 5%, 10%. Well, in this course, we go through a point system. You have a total of 3,000 points that you can accumulate. And if you see right here at the bottom, the letter grades and the corresponding point system explains how we are going to grade this course. So out of 3,000 points, if you get between 2,700 and 3,000, you'll be getting an A. If you get between 2,400 points and 2,699 points, you'll be getting a B, and so forth. I will be using this grade calculation to kind of explain briefly what each of these assignments will entail. And again, if you have any questions, please make sure to email me. So this course is not a self-paced course. Every day you will have homework that will be due, Monday through Sunday. Okay? The daily material that will be available to you will be the oral exercises. So the oral exercises are mostly exercises that will require you to record yourself based on some material that will be presented to you in the textbook. So let's say chapter 11, it's talking about transportation. So you will be recording some exercises regarding that topic. And we have 5 chapters that we'll be covering, and each chapter is worth 100 points. At the end of a chapter, you will have workbook activities, which are also worth 100. For these workbook activities, I ask you that you give yourself plenty of time to complete them, because these, as opposed to the oral exercises, which I give you 4 to 5 every day, the workbook activities are due at one specific date, and they're close to 20. So for the workbook activities, I ask that you give yourself plenty of time to complete them. The only difference between the workbook activities and the oral exercises is just that most of the oral exercises deal with you recording yourself and speaking, and these are this is your daily homework. I'll go over the calendar in a minute. I have a very detailed calendar that will help you be up to date and be on top of the material that is due every day. So the workbook is due at the end of each chapter, and the oral exercises are due every day. Every chapter you will have a speaking test, and each speaking test is worth 50 points, and you record yourself. There's a topic, and you record yourself for about a minute or two, and you will be sending that to me. There's one speaking test per chapter. Since we have 5 chapters, you have 4 speaking tests and the final speaking test right here at the bottom, which is also worth 50 points. You will have chapter tests, that's 3. You will have a midterm, which is chapter 13, but it is a partial, meaning you will be tested on chapter 11, 12, and 13. You will also have a final exam, which is not comprehensive, which will only deal with chapter 15, and each of those are worth 300 points. Again, there's the final speaking test worth 50 points. And there are 2 compositions. These compositions are written in Spanish, and they will be turned in through eCampus. If you see on eCampus, I have already set up a link for compositions. So when you turn them in, you click on compositions, and you type them in a Word document. And here for composition number 1, I already have the guidelines and the topic and the instructions, right? That's for composition 1 and for composition 2. When you are ready to submit, you click here, and there should be like a browse my computer to attach the file. So some of the material, some of the homework, you will be turning it in through eCampus, but most of your work will be turned in through an online workbook, and this online workbook is called Kia, and I will be talking about Kia in a minute and how to access it. So you will have workbook activities, you have oral exercises, you will have speaking tests, you'll have chapter tests, and you'll have compositions, and you also will have discussion boards. The discussion boards are in English. There's one cultural discussion board, which you discuss a topic regarding a Hispanic, Spanish-speaking culture, and the other is like a critical thinking discussion board. Both of these are in English, and your participation is required, and you need to participate in 2 ways. One, by publishing a post, and the second one is by replying to another person's post in the form of a comment. And I'll discuss these discussion boards in detail later on. And finally, you will have a reflective paper. This reflective paper is also written in English. So the discussion boards and the reflective paper are both in English. And the reflective paper has a lot to do with cultural awareness. What else are you learning besides language in a class like this that makes you culturally aware? So the discussion boards are in English, the reflective paper is in English, and since we're not meeting in order for you to present your paper, you will be creating a PowerPoint in order to substitute for that presentation. You'll also be commenting on other people's drafts, and that also give you some points. I'm gonna talk about all of this more in detail as we get closer to those due dates. But for now, this is what makes up your grade for this class, for Summer 1 French 23, Spanish 2311. And again, it's a point system out of 3,000. Okay, so here's a course calendar. So as you see, I have it broken down into pages, right? And you will use your online textbook, you will watch tutorials, you will watch videos that I have created, and you will complete your KIA assignments, which are your oral exercises. Usually you have Monday through Thursday to complete your oral exercises, and then on Friday you have your 19 plus workbook activities due. And then if you don't have anything on Saturday, then it looks like this first week. And then on Sunday, you have your speaking test due and your chapter test. And this kind of repeats itself as you see all the way through June. July gets a little different because of July the 4th. Since we don't have class that day, we've had to rearrange so it doesn't fall on a Sunday, it falls on a Saturday. But that's pretty much the structure. Monday through Thursday, you complete the oral exercises. Friday, you complete the workbook activities. And Sunday, you will do your test, your written test, and your speaking test. As you can see in blue, in green, there's other stuff that's due as well. This is the discussion forum, the critical thinking discussion board. This is the cultural discussion board. So aside from your oral exercises, you also need to complete these other activities. And I'll do my best to remind you of all of these due dates. Okay? So this calendar, I would ask that you print screen, and that you have that available to you. And I made, if you go to eCampus, I made a link to the day-to-day calendar, and I separated it from the other parts of the syllabus so that you have easy access to it. So you keep clicking on the day-to-day calendar, and here it is. Okay. So things like the composition, like the English essay, like the discussion boards, you submit that on eCampus. But your workbook activities and your oral exercises and your textbook are all available on this workbook or this online website called KIA. And in order to find KIA, if you go to course materials on our eCampus shell, I have posted some instructions as to how to sign up. So for you, it looks something like this. What you need in order to sign up for our course is this code right here, JRPDX873. That's our course code. And you need to go to this website right here, books.kia.com. And it looks something like this website. You create an account, and the minute you submit and you create an account, it'll ask you, do you have a course code or do you have a book code? Since you have our course code, input JRPDX873, and then it'll take you to our course. It'll have my name, it'll have the book that we're using, Plaza's 4th edition, and then you click on buy. So you can purchase 6-month access or 24-month access, I believe. So you would need to pick the 6-month access. But if you are strapped for cash at the moment, and if you need some time in order to get that money, you can click on the 3-week trial. And it's a little link. Once you click on buy, you'll see the 2 options, and then if you look at the text right at the top of those 2 options, there's a small link that says 3-week trial. Click on trial, keep clicking submit, and it'll give you a 3-week access to our course at no cost. Okay, so if you do that, okay, I believe that once you complete the signing up, once you put in our course code, once you click on buy, once you click on your access preferability, which I think it's 6 months to be honest, or you click on the 3-week trial, your um, screen should look something like this. You'll have your assignment calendar, you have your ebook, you have your video library if you have practice, right? So if you go to ebook and you keep clicking, your book will appear. Try this one more time. Okay. And if you click on assignment calendar, well, it's supposed to be to come up. Um, if you click on assignment calendar, the textbook, if you click on assignment calendar, you will see that every day you have something due. It doesn't show up in my assignment calendar because I'm the professor of the course. But when you do sign in, you will see that for Monday, it'll show Tuesday, it'll show Wednesday, it'll show everything that is due. So for me, I'll just show you what it looks like for me. It's not the same, but the organization is something similar. You see, for today, you already have some homework. For tomorrow, you have this homework right here. For Wednesday, you have this homework. You have 3 tries to complete each exercise, and it'll take your best effort. Okay? That's Thursday, and this is the end of the chapter for Thursday, chapter 11. And then Friday, you have the workbook assignments. You see, there's a bunch of these here. And Sunday, you have your final, chapter 11 exam and your speaking test. If you move to a different week, it all looks very similar. But again, this is for chapter 12. So this is where you will, this website, Kia, in this website, you will do your workbook activities, you will do your oral exercises, your daily oral exercises, you will do your exams, and you will do your speaking tests. In eCampus, you will submit your compositions, you will submit your reflective essay, and you will submit your discussion boards. So I'll try to remind you about due dates and where to submit as we go along. And the way I remind you of all of those things is I use announcements. You get an email with an alert, and just this is announcement will be the first thing that you see when you come into the web into our course shell, and this is where you will see my announcements. Every email that I send you, I send it in the form of an announcement, so that you can go back here and see if you've missed anything. Okay. So this is the little introduction for the syllabus, for the requirements of the course. So today, if you look at the day-to-day calendar, you already have some work, some homework due. So today, what I would like you to do is to watch the orientation video, which is this one you're watching right now, to sign up for Kia by clicking on course materials and following the instructions on this document right here, Kia instructions. And you need to start chapter 11. You click on the textbook, you read pages 354 through 355, and once you're done, you go back to your assignment calendar and you complete those 4 exercises that are due today. Okay, so our course will end on July 7th, and that's when you have your final exam, which is chapter 15. The last day to drop this course is June 29th. Let me see if there's anything else that needs clarification. So just to remind you, you need to study the chapter, then look at the lecture videos that are provided on Kia, and then look at the videos that I have created. And I will send you an email when that video is available. And then you work on your workbook exercises or your oral exercises. For your exams, when you take your exam, you only have one attempt to take the exam, and its maximum time is 2 hours. So make sure that once you begin it, you complete it, because if you log out of it, it won't let you go back in. Okay, the same goes for midterm and the midterm and final exams. And the discussion boards, the topics, and the composition topics, we'll discuss this later on as we approach these due dates. The same goes for the reflective paper. Okay, but there's already a bunch of information on your syllabus, so I would like you to also go through the syllabus, look at the syllabus, and email me if you have any questions regarding it. Again, your grade is going to be based on points. So the class, I'll give you a total of 3,000 points, and your letter grade will be determined by where you fall in this scale, in what range of points. Okay, so I'll email you today. Please watch this video and do your homework tonight, and you have until midnight every day to do your homework. And again, this is not a self-paced course, so make sure that you complete your homework and your assignments the days that are due, as they are as you see them on your day-to-day calendar. Okay, well, it's very nice to meet you, and